everybody. Hey, it's Will Roberts, and I know you're probably looking and going, "What the hell are you wearing, Will?" I'm wearing a suit and a tie because I was filming something, and I decided not to, change. But here it is. Rush, and knowing that I only am in this frame, I tied my tie short so it comes up to about here, and there's like all this distance. But first of all, gonna have to take this off because it's killing me. Hey, welcome to the show, filmfestivallive.com, and 3 times a week. It's not enough because there's so many film festivals and they're popping up daily. And if, oh, by the way, my Instagram, Will Roberts Official. I changed it from actor Will Roberts to Will Roberts Official, going for the verification thing. But anyway, check it out online, and of course, Film Festival Live on Instagram. And my good pal Sal, oprime.tv. In case you don't know what that is, oprime.tv, if you are a filmmaker, a writer, an actor, or whatever in this wonderful world we call film festivals, you can go there and have your films run there. And I think you might even be able to make a little bit of money. But we all know in the industry, probably not much. But exposure is so much more valuable sometimes than money, unless you're trying to pay your rent. Welcome to the show. I'm here in Hollywood, California area, Los Angeles, Southern California. It's really hot. Today we're going to talk to a writer, a producer, a director, all kinds of people. And I'm very excited because anytime I get a chance to talk to someone in the UK, I'm actually very thrilled because by the way, actors, the key component to being a successful A-lister movie actor, a British accent. It's the truth. I hate it, but it's the truth. So I've worked on my British RP and film at 11. Okay, so anyway, let's get into the show and have a little bit of fun. Normally, I would show some kind of cool visuals, but I want to get talking to Mel. Mel Hurry, she is amazing, and I think you're going to love her. And normally, again, I'm a little stumbly because I would have like a drum roll or something. So tell you what, I'm going to play the intro again for a second and then bring her on. And then look surprised and clap, everybody. Okay, here we go. Okay, enough of that. Wait a second. Mel Hurry, filmmaker, screenwriter, and producer. How are you today in the UK?
Yeah, doing very well. It's really hot here too. So we've just had a major heat wave.
How
Not
hot?
as warm as LA. I'm gonna tell you that now. I think up to 80, high 80s, and that was about it. But
You mean
it's hot enough.
Celsius? Is that
Um,
Celsius?
yeah, so no, as in Fahrenheit.
Oh,
So hang on a second. I think that is in conversion about 30 was about in
oh,
Celsius.
okay. Well, because when you
Yeah.
said 80, I'm like, wow, if that's
Well,
like
yeah.
Celsius, you must be on fire walking around there. Uh, is it a humid type of heat?
Yeah, it is. It is a humid heat, and you get to like 1 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you're like, when's it gonna end? When's winter coming back? But then I hate winter, so we're always complaining, and this is what our daily conversation has been about. Yeah, every single day.
I love it. Now, I was born and raised in the south side of Chicago, and people always say humidity, and I go, other than Texas and Singapore, I can tell you that you wake up and go, ew, my pillow, it's very humid. But that seems to be happening all over the world. Global warming,
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I didn't say global warming. But it is happening everywhere, places where you wouldn't imagine. I lived in Arizona before. I bet you right now it's even a little more humid in Arizona. But
Yeah.
enough about the weather. So what time is it there?
So it's about 7:35. Yep, it's the evening. It's a Friday night, and I'm talking to your lovely selves.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so it's a good Friday night. I'll definitely say that.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm pretty surprised because most of the Brits I know at this time of night, yes, that wouldn't be water; it would be a little bit of Bass ale or something.
It's definitely water for now. That's coming out later.
There you go. Very good. Let's talk about the industry. First of all, give us a little bit of a timeline, how long you've been doing it, and then really maybe a moment where it clicked and you went, I just need to do this for my life. Give us a little Reader's Digest version.
Yeah, so I mean, it did start from when I was in school. Like, I was involved in drama, and then to cut a long story short, there was one particular English assignment that I did when I was like 13, and I didn't do it well because apparently the actual assignment was to write a story, and then end up writing a script, and I thought it was pretty good. I got a C for it, but it was the best C ever because the comment said this should be a Hollywood script. It shouldn't be. This is not a story. And I thought, oh, I've actually got a knack for doing a bit of screenwriting. But guess what? I parked it and didn't touch it ever again because I just thought, oh, it's one of those things. And then, but I mean, I was 13, so, the
Yeah,
changes and everything that happens
sure.
in
You're
teenage
right.
years.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and then kind of fast forward, obviously, like, again, it was just studies and then getting into work as well. And it was just, the usual things,
Yeah.
bills and things needed to be paid, natural stuff.
Life.
Um, yeah, exactly. And then it got to 2009, and I'm not even going to try and say that, it just struck me one day. I actually had a dream. So, Will, I had a dream about a storyline. I woke up the next morning and I said, I need to write this. This is something I want to see, and no one's going to get this as much as I have. I dreamt everything, and
Wow.
it was like, this is something I want to elaborate on, and it just started from there. It was like September 2009, and I just threw myself into it. And then I just signed up with Berwick University in terms of
Oh,
screenwriting because I didn't know how to write it, how to
sure.
put it together, or anything. So I thought, well, let me do a course in that. I did that, and from then the writing just kept going, and it was just kind of moving onwards and upwards, doing some short scripts. The feature that was still in that dream, I am still developing that, and I think because it was
Oh,
my
really?
first baby, yeah. So it
Wow.
was my first baby, and I feel like that's a special one, and then all the others are just the ones in the meantime. So I still want to keep developing that into a full feature soon.
So you didn't wake up and just go, I got to start writing. You didn't actually, did you put down any of the stuff that you thought and dreamt?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's recorded down. It was just it just got to that point where it wasn't perfect enough. It was like, no, the inspiration was there for the first few weeks that I started writing it and putting all of my thoughts and what I think this person would say and how this person would be and outlining my characters. But then it was like, okay, I actually need to start making sure that I can fund this eventually, and then obviously going back to life as we know it. And then it was like, okay, you start to lose your muse, but then, as a screenwriter, you have 101 ideas, and you're like,
Yeah.
right, actually, this one's a quick one. I can put this
Oh,
together.
sure.
So I actually started to stop on that and then started looking at all these other shorts, which has helped me, with who I am today.
Sure.
But I'm still got that special one that I need to fine tune it. So there's always going to be ones that are unwritten, I guess.
You have me now. The rest of the show, I'm just gonna want to know what the premise is. You're killing me. I mean, does it have to do with Pokemon or anything like that?
No, definitely. No way.
No Pokemon. Um, okay, I'm gonna try to reside from not asking you what it's about, but let me ask you this: what year did you actually start? Like, I'm sorry, seriously.
Seriously, I would say probably about 2 years ago is when I really wanted to put my all into it and actually took it seriously, which is where the business came in. And also it was about working with talented people within the film industry, music industry. This is still an interest that I have. Why not just move forward with it? This is the time to make it happen.
Wow.
COVID actually hit, but in fact, it inspired me even more to make
Yeah.
things happen,
Yeah.
which is weird because a lot of people are saying, well, we need to find money elsewhere, we need to do other things, and it's good to have, your fingers in all the pies. But for me, it was like, if I don't do this and actually get clever with, maybe doing a lockdown film or, starting to really instigate, now I've got a little bit more time to open up to my craft. I'm just going to be sitting here 10 years later
Right.
still thinking what if, or what, maybe I should have written that. Oh yeah, that would have been nice to submit that to a film festival,
Yeah.
and not getting it done.
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda
Yeah,
kills most people in the industry, along with the fact that they don't. I say this all the time on my shows, is that especially actors, they don't learn how to shoot with their phones, or they don't learn how to edit with. I mean, very simple. Again, I've been doing this for 38, 40 years, and I learned personally myself because I realized I had this much money, and
yeah,
if you want to produce your demo, if you want to get out there, you want to do what you're going to do. And I think this is a good valid point to bring up is that COVID did actually, there are a lot of bad things that happened. We know,
yeah,
but there's a lot of good things too. People in LA were constantly contacting me and going, how are you constantly working? And I go, well, I shoot, I have a
yeah,
voiceover studio, I edit, and, and consequently, I wound up starting a live stream production company because I got tired of people doing their Zooms in their bathroom. And
yeah,
but the point, yeah, but the point is that you can sit around. You could have sit around, and we're still not totally out of it. And you
yeah,
can sit and just drink. Did that part. Um, but the fact of the matter is that what better time to say, well, I literally can't do anything for 8 hours today because I don't have anywhere to go and I
yeah.
can't go anywhere. So I appreciate that. Let me ask you. So you've been doing this for a long enough time, and officially, by the way, your website. I will bring that up in just a second. The fact of the matter is that how has it changed as a writer since you kind of, when you first started kind of putting stuff down? Do you see anything different? Are shorter scripts more in demand? What's your take on the writing industry?
Yeah, I think shorts are becoming a lot more popular than what they were before. I think when I first went into it, pending the dream, it was almost like you've just got to go and write a feature. I hadn't even known about shorts, to be honest, until
Sure,
I actually fully pushed myself into learning more about film and that. And it was like, okay, yeah, I could do a short and I'll write a few of them. Oh, that looks fun. But it was like, no, I want to do a feature. But now I feel like features are obviously still as successful and amazing as ever, but I think shorts are catering for a different audience that are becoming more and more popular
yeah,
because of the time. A lot of us nowadays, we don't have a lot of time, and so we want something quite fast paced or something to get to the point a little bit quicker. And you find obviously with shorts, it will leave it as a cliffhanger, which is amazing because I love all the questions that can come up after,
sure.
or it's just quicker to get to. So I always find that that actually has now pushed the popularity of shorts more, and there's a wider I think it's widening out in terms of genres as well because there's so many different parts that you can or elements that you can put into a short now that is keeping everyone a bit more open-minded to it as well as features.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is that our attention span is that of a gnat. And when you
Yeah,
look at, I know that I've worked with companies that they go, we need you to produce a 5-second viral video. And it's like,
yeah,
yeah, because I know the metrics that when you watch a video, if you don't give it to them in 5 seconds and they go, what am I getting? You're done, you're gone. And the other part about it is that shorts are the only way to, in most cases, to get people on streaming networks to go, Netflix and so on. You're not going to produce a multi-million dollar feature film. I mean, maybe you are, and then go like this and go, hope I get distribution. Shorts
yeah,
are a good way. And, one of the big things and the reason why we started this filmfestivallive.com is because film festivals are really at this point, I kind of think, underplayed. And
yeah,
reality that everybody wants their attention. And there are a billion of them. And it's not like the old Hollywood where you had to wait, you had to produce something, you hoped that it would get on the five major networks, whatever. Now
yeah,
people are taking it into their own, hands and their own power. Um,
yeah,
segue into the power. One thing that I'm really glad that's happening, and I want you to kind of talk about this, is women in film.
yeah,
I thought for the longest time here in America that we should be having a woman running the country because look, we depend on our mothers. We never have to question them. They're
very
usually
true.
they're very honest, And so, with that being said, I've got wonderful friends here in LA. Jen, I forgot her last name. She's a wonderful female director. And I would much rather be directed or put in place by a female in most cases because, you know, I just think that the time has come. And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like now there is a lot more room for us as women to kind of take more leadership, especially within directing and producing. Because, yeah, it could be like the female writer, but the fact that when you get into producing and directing, this is like the most empowering thing that we can do for ourselves,
Yeah.
but also things that we can do to work alongside men as well. So it's not necessarily to say, right, I'm director and producer, you've got to listen to what I say, but it's about this collaborative approach, which is
Yeah.
really healthy. And this is what's going to build industries like the film industry, because there's so much there that we can work together on, rather than saying, I'm not going to work with men, or she's a female director, what's her opinion got to do about it.
Yeah.
It's that sort of approach. But I feel like we've evolved so much, we've still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But I feel that the creativity that's actually being pushed out there from women is just showing that actually we can be respected and we can have that self-respect as well. But also that's going to kind of emulate where that respect comes back from men who may have felt that actually women can't do this job, kind of thing.
Sure. Well, one of the things that is unfortunate, I still think, in the industry in regards to women in film is that, and my wife is a very big feminist, and I'm all for it because again, I think that a lot of times women are more level-headed and they approach things from a different perspective and they think about all the little details because they're used to doing that. But one thing that I have seen is being taken seriously, and because the machismo in in men and on sets and pulling that sort of rank. I just want to. I mean, I've been on sets where women are directing and it's phenomenal. A lot of
Yeah,
control, things are organized. But I'm not gonna lie to you. You got back of the house sort of chatter from the guys, and it's like, appreciate it, dinosaur, but it's time to
yeah.
move on. What would you say? I want you to give a little bit of advice. I call this best four-letter word in the English language, free. Free advice to prospective either writer, director, actors, females, and potentially even male. What would be your words of wisdom, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it would be, you have to go with your gut, really. You have to really just go with what you think is right. Everyone's going to talk about you. And
Yeah,
it's not, everyone's going to have something to say,
yeah,
whether you are female, whether you're of color, whether you've got a zit on your forehead, whatever you haven't, don't worry. But I know I have. So, but yeah,
you caught
like
me.
whatever it is, everyone's going to have something to say. And even if you are doing fantastically and a whole set's behind you, or even if you're at work and everyone's rooting for you, there's always going to be someone who's going to say something. You
Yeah,
need to just go in and say, look, I'm here to get a job done, get it done, and get it done well.
yeah.
And that's what you need to go with that.
I love that
And
advice. I love it. And by the way, there's also that other voice called the critical voice, your own
yeah,
voice that goes, oh gosh, I bet they're thinking. But you know what? This is a really quick story. But when I was with Cirque du Soleil for 4 years as one of their acts, and because of my cowboy and trick roping and gun spinning. And it's funny because the kid that was working with me in the show at the time, 26, his name is Luke Rollins, amazing other trick roper, gun spinner, whip artist. And we were opening up and he goes, I don't know what to do, Will. And I go, why? And he goes, I'm like freaking out. And I go, why? Because Guy Liberté, the head of Cirque du Soleil at the time, show called Viva Elvis, basically they came in to do a lion's den, which is his crew of people to watch this $180 million show in Vegas and go, we like, we don't, we don't, we like. Well, he came in and freaked everybody out and fired 20 people and said, this is horrible. And we were on the line. I called it dead man walking for a while. But he says, I need some advice what to do because we're having this final performance where it's going to either be or not. And I went, and I'm going to do this and I hope there's no kid in the audience, which probably aren't. But I said, you need to do the whole act like this.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What the hell are you talking about?" I went, "You're there for a reason, and you are picked, and you are one of the top Cirque du Soleil acts, or whatever you do, director, writer. So when you're there in that position, the worst thing you could do and detrimental to you is to have your critical voice go, 'I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not.' No one will
Yeah.
believe you." So
Exactly.
I think that might elaborate a little bit on what you said, but I just think people have to own it and take it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that self belief, isn't it, as well? When you're always gonna self doubt. I mean, even before coming on to, oh, I hope I don't say anything, terrible. That's just natural nerves of any sort of interview. And even, I do my own podcast interview, so I know exactly what that's
Oh,
like.
awesome.
But you feel that you just have to just own it. And if that's what you said, that's what you said. If that's what you do, do it. And
Yeah.
love the fact that you're doing it and just do it with that belief, because otherwise you would have gone into the industry if you didn't think you were that good enough.
And this is the worst industry in the world. Let's be honest. I mean, we are constantly told day after day after day. People always say to me, they go, "How is it that like you just auditioned for Yellowstone, or you just how do you feel?" I went, "What about what?" "Well, what do you think about what you auditioned?" I went, "It's over. It's
That's
over.
it.
What am I
Yeah.
supposed to do? I did my best. I did a great job. They should blah blah blah." But the industry is filled with people going, "Oh, you're not really that good," mainly because they're jealous. But the fact of the matter is that you do have to. As a friend of mine used to say all the time, he said, "Wear horse blinders, lock it in,
Yeah.
and blow it out," because
Exactly.
you got to do that. Hey, can you stick around for another 5 minutes? I want to take a small break and then come back and just wrap up with you.
Absolutely. Would
Oh,
happy to.
very thrilled. I don't want to stop your tea time or your wine time. Mel Hurry, filmmaker, screenwriter, and of course, producer. We're going to come back after this small break, and here we go. Hang tight. So I want to talk to you actors and people out there from a marketing standpoint. And I've said this over and over again, and I'm going to show you something that I did. And I sent it to my new agent that I have in Utah. She's a rock star. She's from New York. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that I always try to do things differently. And I tell everybody in the industry, try to do things that really push the envelope. So here's my latest attempt. I came up with an ad, and the ad basically was a panel ad, like a banner ad, and I'm putting it on places like Actors Access or Backstage or whatever, and it looks like just an ad from a furniture thing, and it says, "Casting directors, you want to know how to make your office look awesome?" And what happens is this when they click it. Hey, thanks for clicking the banner. Now, I know you're dying to know what it is that makes a successful casting office, or director, or production. And the answer is actors. See, you can have a great script, great casting director, a director, producer, but here's the problem. You always need good actors. To be or not to be? But let's face it, there's way too many of us. And we can't market to you, which is odd considering that they call it show business, and that means that there's business in the show. We can't call you, we can't send you an email. We just submit to the breakdowns like the other 4,800 that submitted to you on that casting call, with no action-packed pitch letter, sales letter, and all we do is stand in line and remain quiet. Let's be honest. Lines are for Starbucks, not for careers. If I still have your attention, I want you to watch this next 46-second video. Now don't go away, because there's a quiz after this.
Detective Gennaro, I need to speak with Rex Wilson.
Rex is already out there on the speedway for his practice run.
You know what I mean.
Now let me see your shotgun.
Here, cool it down.
Just like your old man, huh?
Is there a problem, soldier? I'm asking you a question, Lieutenant.
Running in clown shoes.
This is gonna be fun.
Time! What if they need more time? See? That wasn't so painful. And I even saw a couple of you laughing.
So if you like what you saw, operators are standing by.
Yeah, Will Roberts is great. Oh, you want to book him?
That's my agent. And if you didn't like my approach, well, I'm Daniel Craig, and I hope you enjoyed this commercial.
All right, so the point is that try to do stuff that you can really rattle the cage. Okay, this stuff is so cheap. I mean, I've been doing this for 38 years, and nowadays shooting things on your phone easy. I've gotten some film festival awards for a film I shot in Pernambuco, Brazil, when I was there shooting The Killer, and it was on a 5S. And the fact is that if you're not doing it and you're an actor or a director or a producer, and as our guest said, you got to just get in there and do it, then you're wasting your time, and one day you're going to wake up and say shoulda, coulda, woulda. All right, back to the show. I'm very excited to bring her back on. Mel, here she is. Mel, hurry. So in the UK, and first of all, just want to ask you, what's on the tap for this weekend? Are you going to sit at home and write, or?
Planning is the aim of this weekend. I've got a film shoot coming up, so it's about another 2 weeks roughly.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can imagine there's a lot going on, and
Yeah.
third room in my apartment is full of props. So yeah, and that's basically everything that's coming in, every single delivery. Yep, it's for Mel. It's Mel. It's prop 1, prop 2, prop 100.
Oh my God.
And that's basically what my life has been like for the last couple of weeks and months.
Are you directing this, or are you?
Yeah, so I'm writer, producer, and director for this. So it's a real. I mean, again, this film that I'm shooting. I mean, I've already won awards for the script, and it's already been submitted to multiple film festivals. It's been selected, nominees, everything. So it's really, really doing well in terms of just the script alone. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed,
Yes.
that the actual shoot is going to be as amazing as the script is doing at the moment.
You know what? I'm just going to take this from what I've heard you say and the way you are. I'm going to guess. Is it a thriller?
It is, yeah. It's it's a thriller, but it's also like it's a drama as well, because it is about it raises the questions about the choices that we make and the consequences that we face. And that's kind of so it kind of gets the audience thinking. It's definitely got everyone involved thinking when they've read the script, and there's only so many things that you could answer at the end of it. But it's definitely something to get the audience thinking, what am I doing with my life, or am I making the right choices? And and that's kind of where I come from. I tend to enjoy films like that, and that's why I write them.
I like the cause and effect thing. I think it's a good thing for people to be constantly reminded that when you do this, it's like a Slinky or Dominoes. And
Yeah.
so, but I did peg it. You do seem like a mystery thriller type of person. So there it is.
I am. I really want to end up going into comedy at one point, because I find some of my writing's a bit too serious. I need a bit of some liveliness and a bit of just lighten the mood a bit. So I think I'm going to try comedy writing one day. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm a huge fan of. I spent 25 years doing a lot of British farce. So I love, like, No Sex Please were British, and all these others, just because I love the Seven Doors and just the zany. You're all a bit more naughty than us here in America, but it's okay. But I will definitely be lining up to see what you create if you do go after that comedy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mel Hurry, filmmaker, screenwriter, and of course producer and director. Didn't put that on there. Not enough line. But check out her site. What is the name of the company?
So it's RIME Entertainment Limited, and if you head over to rimeentertainment.com, you'll find out all about me, and also with my sister as well. So we're both partners in the company.
That's cool. So she's in the industry too?
Yeah, she is. So so we are a dynamic duo, and we plan to take on the world. So watch this space.
Well, we'll do everything we can to help you, and it's great that you have a family member. I wouldn't let a family member near anything I do, so it's very nice that you get along with your family members to be able to put them in and create this business. It's been a pleasure, and I know we'll check back with you again. If anything comes up, let us know. We'd love to put it out there. Also, I want to get information. Sal will get information from you in regards to your podcast because we want constant content on
Yeah.
our Instagram, and on Instagram, but our final, what the hell is the name of the show? Filmfestivallive.com on the news.
Amazing.
So we'd love to get you some eyes and ears on that as well. Thanks for coming out and hanging with us.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy your Friday, everyone.
All
Bye.
right. Be well. Thanks. All right, everybody, hang tight. We're coming up with the next guest, and I'm very excited. Lisa is waiting in the wings, and Lisa Marie, and let me just get my glasses on. Otherwise, and again, I'm sorry, I'm all dressed up. I don't know what the hell I did. I told you if you were watching my Instagram, which by the way is Will Roberts Official, you'll see that I was shooting a couple of scenes, a remote scene in my studio. Because if you don't know, this is a green screen studio. It's that good looking. Okay, but the fact is, I was shooting a small film in Brazil a few hours ago, and I had to bring all my props because I'm a weapons guy, and they're like, do this and do that, and blah 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 blah. So it was a lot of fun. I was in Brazil shooting a film a couple of few years back called O Matador, or The Killer. I was the bounty hunter that killed the bounty hunters. And interestingly enough about that whole thing, Marcelo, I can't remember his last name, or at least Garpa got something. He's very well known in Brazil and really making quite a big bang here in the United States. He lives in LA. Good friend, great guy, very good director. But when I was out there, I learned that the role that I auditioned for, because I'm a weapons guy, guns, whips, knives, ropes, I can kill a man with a crust of bread as long as it's 2 days old. Anyway, he called me up to help train a lot of the actors on how to handle the weapons and so on. And there was a role called Gringo in El Matador, or The Killer. And he said, I want you to train, can you train Danny Trejo, Machete? I'm like, yeah. But why are you calling him a gringo? Apparently in Brazil, anybody outside of Brazil is a gringo. Good to know. But anyway, consequently, I told him what I always tell people that call me up about the coaching stuff. I went, you have to book me. And they go, what are you talking about? I go, you have to put me in the film. So here's my demo. So consequently, he had me read the role of the gringo, and he didn't hire Danny Trejo. He hired me in the role, which was fun because I learned that Brazil has wonderful places to film, and I shot 3 films while I was there for 46 days. Love that area. But one of the reasons I'm telling you this is because what you want to do is not necessarily in your hometown. Okay? Especially nowadays with film and TV and what's going on, it's all over the world. And my last 4 projects I've done, China, 1 Brazil, 1 Mumbai, India, that was fun for Disney, and Arizona, but that's right down the street. It's all right there. So search it out. Don't wait for your agents. Whether you're a director, it doesn't matter what you do. Don't wait for your agents. Okay. Without further ado, I'm very excited. I'm going to show you a little video, and it looks a little bit something like, let's see if I can find it. There it is. Hang tight. Lisa's coming up in a second. Watch this. Well, how about, oh, I knew I put you in the wrong studio. All right, there you are. Here we go. And well, hold on a second. You're not showing up. Let's try another number. There you are. Can you hear me okay? I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I wonder why I don't hear. Hold on a second, Lisa Marie. I don't hear you, and I should hear you. Can you hear me? You can hear me, but I can't hear you. Are you using an external microphone or the microphone on the computer? on the computer. Do me a favor. Go back out. And do you mind turning off your computer and putting it back on? I know that's very complicated. Thank you. Try that. I'll be right back with you. Hang tight. All right, so everybody, while she is doing this, I'm going to have her restart her computer, and it happens. You know what? The beauty of live stream is that it's live stream, so you get to say all you want and do what you want, and it's a lot of fun. And you can interact with us certainly on the show because we are broadcasting live on Facebook Live on our big actors channel and industry channel, which is basically about 17,000 people. On our YouTube channel, all kinds of different things. Let's go to the dashboard. Oh, look at that. I don't know where we're at. Anyway, I'm in my dashboard and all this fun stuff. Okay, and we're now actually broadcasting on LinkedIn, just so you know. So fact of the matter is that we're all over the place. And if you want, you can go to filmfestivallive.com, and myself and Sal have put some really great stuff on there, all the interviews that we're doing and all that other fun stuff. If you have any questions, you certainly can just ring us up and ask us that. I'm going to look here and see. I think Sal might have said something to me earlier. Hang on. I know Lisa Marie will be back. Yes, because I'm on LinkedIn. Forgot to press the other buttons. So, all right. So now while we're waiting, basically, what could I talk about? I don't know. I could talk about the fact that film festivals are all over the place and they're coming up all the time. There's always new ones. And then in addition to that, the cool thing is that they're adding more. Every time we turn around, there's more film festivals. I'm hoping that, of course, this film festival it comes on. And you know what I might do is I might stop this and then get us back into the other one. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this part of the show. I'm going to rebroadcast.